All right, Scott Squad, we are back in the building. And of course, we got to talk about a preview of this coming week's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Now, listen, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a spoiler alert because we will be talking about the episode. Now, of course, because, this is the YouTube streets, I can't just play the clip here. So, of course, we're going to do a nice little recap of it. And I will place a link in the description so that you guys can actually watch the complete clip for yourself. OK, but I'm going to basically give you the tea. Now, let's boil it down to this. Robyn and Gizelle are having a conversation about something that happened when Robyn and Gizelle were in Atlanta. Now, I'm going to assume that this may have been for their podcast or something that had to do with iHeart. Maybe I don't really know because they don't really say in the clip. However, apparently during that conversation that Gizelle is going to have or did have with Juan, basically she was... I don't know if she was putting him in the hot seat or if he was putting her in the hot seat, because apparently Robyn went back and told Juan that Gizelle didn't really believe the things that Juan was telling her because they did sound kind of cockamamie. And we've talked about that ad nauseum on this channel. So apparently at that point, he began yelling at her. These are Gizelle's words. OK, just keep that in mind, that he was yelling at her about how he did not have relations with that woman in the hotel room. Okay. So Robyn, on the other hand, has a very different recollection. Okay. First things first, Robyn says that, well, he was just speaking loudly. Okay. You know why? Because he has trouble hearing. OK, so that's what it was. So he has trouble hearing. So that makes him, speak very loudly, which may be perceived as potentially yelling, and the reason why he speaks so loudly and that he's hard of hearing is because of all of his time yelling and screaming as a coach. You know what I'm saying? So apparently now it's affected his hearing, which therefore also affects his speech. So it makes him speak loudly, directly to the face. You know what I'm saying? That's basically the impression that we are being given here by Robyn. Now, if to you this sounds like an excuse, I can totally understand that. You know what I'm saying? Because it smells like an excuse. It has the ring of an excuse to it. When you hear that familiar ring of an excuse, that's basically what it's giving. However, Robyn assures us that his yelling is only a result of him coaching, and that's it. So Gizelle should not be alarmed. And he basically only said he didn't stick his thing, in the woman, right? So Juan is just here to clear the air. You know what I mean? And he's here to stop the rumors. And, the reason that Gizelle is having this conversation with Robyn, and it's interesting to see them have this little dynamic and this sort of disagreement in this space, because we don't always get to see these moments of either of them checking each other. However, I do like that they do show this aspect of their relationship that is not always just the two of them backing each other up. You know what I mean? So I need you guys to chime down in that good chatterization and let me know what you think about this, because to me, I just found it very, very interesting. I mean, no one can fault. Well, also, let me remember this, because she made sure to tell us, Gizelle made sure to tell us that Juan did say that he is a sexual being the way, most men are, sexual beings, the men are, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure what that had to do with anything, but that didn't really seem to add to me thinking anything differently about the situation other than it all still sounds cockamamie. You understand what I'm saying? But that's really not for me to judge, because at the end of the day, if Robyn likes it, then I love it. You know what I mean? If she likes it, I love it. That's my new stance. That's my new stance on the entire situation. If she like it, I love it. You know what I mean? If it makes you happy, girl, when you go home at night, fine, because you know what? It ain't really our marriage. Do you know what I'm saying? If it makes sense to you, that's all it need to make sense to. It ain't gonna ever make sense to me, but that's fine. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Like Gizelle, I'm leaving it alone. Okay, that's what Gizelle says at the end of the scene. She leaving it alone. And you know what? I'm gonna leave it alone too. Now, let's get into something I think is also interesting, because I think a fan asked this question of Candice when she was on her live. I want to give a shout out to our friends over at The Reality Rundown for capturing this clip of Candice's live.
What is my relationship with Nneka? Nneka is cool. We're cool. I think she's really sweet. I do take issue with her drama with Wendy, and you kind of see us, Nneka and I, talking through that. Obviously, I'm loyal to my homegirl because that's my homegirl, and she's been a great friend to me. So if somebody comes in attacking my homegirl, I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But Nneka she's cool. She's cool. I just wish that her and Wendy were not beefing, and I really hate the subject matter of the beef because it's dark and weird, and in the moment, I didn't really even understand what was going on, because while I know that there is Nigerian in my blood, my dad is 42% Nigerian. I know that for a fact. I'm not privy to Nigerian culture in the same ways that a first or second generation Nigerian would be. So I didn't really know what was going on in the moment. Come on. And have since been doing my own research, and it's really dark. It's really dark. And I understand Wendy's trepidation around befriending or forgiving or finding space or making space for Nneka. So it's a weird place. What is my relationship with Nneka?
Now, it's posted there for you guys to watch in its full entirety. But Candice is basically answering a question about what her thoughts are about Nneka. Now, she does go on to state that she likes Nneka, okay? And she does go on to state that, she is very, very cool with Wendy. Wendy is her homegirl, so she's always got her back. And she doesn't really like this issue that's going on between Nneka and Wendy. And really, honestly, when she was filming, she says that she didn't really understand it completely. And even though she also talks about, having Nigerian in terms of in her father's bloodline, she is not necessarily or was not necessarily as familiar with what was going on, but she has been doing some research, and she just feels like it's a little, I think that she feels like the rest of us, that the situation as it's playing out feels a lot darker than I think that maybe the show intended. I don't know how they could have intended it to be otherwise, but yeah, it just feels like I told you guys in my recap, it gave me the ick a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So let me know what you guys think about this whole situation with Wendy and Nneka and Candice's place in this as well. I mean, I feel like Candice is looking at this situation from the perspective of Wendy's my homegirl. I like Nneka. I don't like the situation. I don't think that's a fair space to be in. You know what I'm saying? Especially as someone who is not directly in the situation herself, and to give her opinion about it. I feel like she kind of fits where I fit right now. I like Nneka because she's given me nothing to dislike. I don't like the situation and how it's playing out. And we got to see how far it goes and what else happens with this situation to really, I think for me to really get a gauge on where she stands in all of this as it plays out. So anyway, let me know. I am, of course, not in my studio today, so that is why I'm not on camera, just to let you guys know. And we will definitely be back in the studio once we return home, because right now we're on the travel. All right. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think about this. Links are in the description down below. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and I will catch you in the next video.